Well, welcome everybody to another live episode of The Grid. My name is Scott Kelby. Joining me, as always, my co-host, a man. Nah, just forget it. Matt. It's Matt. It's Matt Kloskowski.
Welcome back, everybody, to our live critique episode.
Yeah, it's our blind critique, yeah.
This is where we crush people's dreams and tell them to sell their camera gear.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And we do it once a month because we need 4 weeks for people to kind of get over it.
No.
It's
It's always one of the more popular shows.
Yes, it is. And we're glad to have you guys here. Thanks. We had a ton of people that sent in images, mostly because we actually mentioned it a day before. We actually mentioned it yesterday, so we usually wait to the last minute. But hey, we have a lot of giveaways and fun stuff today. I just want to mention, I mentioned this last week, I'm going to be in Nashville with my Shoot Like a Pro tour. So on June 19th, come see me in Nashville that's not actually my seminar. That's okay. There we go.
Close.
That's me. There we go. Nashville. Me. Okay, I hope you'll come and see me. And then we have our Photoshop Creativity Tour. And that's Ben Wilmore in Sacramento, California on May 28th, which is like in a few days. Joe McNally is going back on the road with his two flash seminar, which is mostly one flash, but then he pulls out a second one just for good measure. It's on June 19th in San Jose, California. And we are announcing the launch of a brand new tour.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. Corey Barker, one of the most amazing Photoshop guys in the planet, is doing this brand new tour. It's called Photoshop Down and Dirty Mastering Effects Tour. And it launches in New Orleans on June 25th. I tell you what, if you haven't seen
Corey in action,
he's nuts. It's really, really crazy. Now, it is probably, you would have to say it's mostly for graphic designers. However,
yeah,
I would say if you're a photographer, almost everything Corey does starts with a photo.
With a photo, yeah.
Or with 2 photos or 3 photos. I think Corey would tell you, if you're a photographer, you still will love it. You'll learn a ton about Photoshop.
I think just digital imaging,
right?
Graphic arts, because it's when you say graphic design, like whenever I hear graphic design, I think somebody's going to teach me how to lay out a brochure and a newsletter and color theory. It is special effects, and there's nobody better at it than Corey.
Yeah, and if you read Photoshop User Magazine and you like the Down and Dirty Tricks column, it's the most popular one in the magazine. Yeah. Well, Corey co-authors that with Felix Nelson, and it's kicking off in New Orleans. Hey, we got a bunch of giveaways. We are giving away the thickest book of the year. This is The Road to Seeing with Dan Winters, and it's a very thick book, but it's really, there's a lot of great information and wonderful images in here. We're giving that away today, and it's just very, very lightweight altogether. All right, we are giving away all 4 of my digital photography books to 4 different people. So what you're going to get is, you get to choose whether you want part 1, part 2, part 3, or part 4. Guess what I just did this week? I finished part 5. I finished part 5. Part 5 is done. Oh, hey, I just got a note. Whoa, here. This book is sold out. It's getting ready to be in its second printing. So until the second printing, this is one of the only places you can get it, right? It's that great. Anyway, Dan's an amazing photographer. So we are going to give away, just at the end of the show, you'll tell us whether you want part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. Heck, we'll even sell you part 5. If we win, not sell you, we'll send you. You can even say, I want the new one, part 5. And
we have a special prize coming up after the break, though. We got to take a break before we can show you this.
Yes, we do have a special prize too that we're giving away too. We're doing all that and a ticket to any one of the seminars I just mentioned. If you want to win a ticket to mine's, to Corey's, to whatever, you'll have a chance at the end of the show to be able to go in there and do that. Also want to mention our other podcast, Photoshop User TV. Well, we have 2 others. Photoshop User TV and Photo Tips and Tricks, which is hosted by our C. Concepcion. Those are going back on their brand new season. They launch on May 29th. Correct?
Sounds good to me. That's what the screen says.
That's what the screen says.
I'm going to go with it.
All right.
Break?
We're going to take a break. When we come back, we have another giveaway and that we're going to give at the show. Then we're going to launch into our blind critiques, and we'll see you right after the break. Don't go away. You're live here on The Grid.
Here at KelbyOne, we're launching an innovative new tool for beginners called Beginners Start Here. It'll lay the foundation needed to understand your camera and walk you through how to capture beautiful images. And the best part is, all you have to do is tell us a little bit about yourself, such as your camera manufacturer, your DSLR model, and what you're interested in. and we'll design a custom curriculum to help you take your photography to the next level. It's that simple. It's the perfect way to learn at your own pace, on your own time. Plus, with a subscription, you get access to our online training wherever you are, so you can replay specific clips or even repeat the entire class if you'd like. We'll take you step by step, right through the process, so you can start taking good images in no time. And as you grow, we have a huge library of classes on all different kinds of photography techniques that can help you take your photography beyond the basics. So if you're just starting out and itching to turn that mode dial to something other than auto, then this is for you. And we're passionate about teaching you how every step of the way. Start here at KelbyOne.com today.
Hey, we are back. Scott Kelby here. Hey, Matt is going to hold up one of our other giveaways. So our friends and sponsors over at MPix Pro, which is mpixpro.com, printed a couple of my images. And check this one out. This is the Blue Angels, and it's printed on this metal. And for those of you who watched last week's show, Matt had one of his and that he gave away. So it's the Blue Angels, and it's printed on metal, but it stands out from the wall. So it's like pops out or something. I think, is that called the stand down or whatever?
A stand or pop out.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway, so
I
there's
love these. These are
so
awesome.
that's another thing you can put in if you want to win that one today, or
more metal stuff too.
More metal stuff. Let's get metal.
And we got
Here we go. Now,
not the picture.
This would be for a this would be for a very specialized person, a Cowboys fan. It's a metal print. It's not a metal print. It's Is it metal? Doggone, I thought it was canvas. Wow, that's metal. It's a metal print of the Cowboys Stadium. So there you go, the Cowboys Stadium.
All right.
That's it. Cowboys Stadium.
So that's going to be one of our prizes too. You just have to send in which one you want, and they'll send you one. Also, I just wanted to mention, so they have 30 MPix.
30% off.
30% off all their prints
until
the end of today. Yeah,
until tonight. So if you're watching this on Wednesday, the 21st,
print your stuff.
Print your stuff.
Now's
but
the
if
chance.
not, if you're a KelbyOne member, you can go get discounts anytime. You can go to KelbyOne.com/discounts, which is it's a members only page. So you'll have to log in, and then boom, there it is. So we have discounts. You get 25% off all the time, but there's a special one that they're doing.
All right. Now that we have thoroughly promoted the living daylights out of everything out there.
Let's go. Let's bust into it. Okay, so this is the Blind Critique Show. For those of you who are watching for the first time, I know many of you are. Our blind critiques are we don't mention the photographer's name. So that's our deal. We show their work, but we don't mention their name. Now, if you put your watermark on it, then we're going to know who you are. But we don't mention your name. And what our goal is with this is to give you an honest opinion. And here's why. Because nobody else will. Your spouse isn't going to look at you and go, "I'm sorry, honey, your work just sucks." So if your wife or your husband isn't going to tell you, sell your gear, neither are your coworkers or your family or anybody. No one ever will. And I talk about this on my tour. I know a guy who works in an office environment with a bunch of other photographers. He could not be more passionate about his photography. He could not be worse. He's terrible. He's really, really bad. All of his friends know it. Nobody will tell him. I'm not even saying, why don't you just guys tell him? We can't tell him. He's just so into it. He loves it so much. And he's like trying to get gallery showings. And everybody's like, oh God, this guy's, and I'll bet you somebody from that company is watching right now. And they're going, oh, I bet they're talking about it, because he's just not any good. And he's trying so hard. And he's a nice guy. Yeah. He can't shoot his way out of a paper bag. He's just awful.
I remember, look.
Yeah, right? Yeah. We saw it on different occasions.
I know.
Oh, dude, did you see his stuff? I'm like, oh, yeah. Anyway, we'll tell the truth. We're not going to be mean. Our goal is to tell you, here's what to do next, or here's how you can help. All right, so let's look at our first photographer. Here we go. All right, we're gonna look at all the images really briefly, and then we'll just comment on some of them. So we have here's the first one, and I've opened these in Camera Raw because they were small images, and this lets them. It kind of makes them bigger here. So here's one. There's one. There's one. There you go. And that one. All right, so
Can we go to the first one?
This one?
Yeah.
All right. So here's the thing. I'm going to go image by image, and then we'll wrap it up at the end. You did like the worst thing. they're in dappled light. What dappled light means is, see how there's like little spots of light on him and part of him is in the shade and there's this really harsh, nasty light on her? Look, you could have moved them back 2 feet.
I know, look at it. It's shady there.
It's shady back in there. And it's because you don't realize that dappled light is a really bad thing. Like you move them, here, get in this spot where you look the worst. Right there, perfect. You could have moved them back a couple of feet and this shot would have been a million times better. The light on her face is not flattering. Now they're like, it's cute. The two of them are cute together, so the gesture's good. The lighting is horrible.
If you can go back, which is good because so many times we see so much of the fundamental flaw of the posing, all that stuff is bad, and all the technicals are good, but you're so close here. Like if you really wanted to take that one up, you could have turned them the opposite way, assuming the background would have been good, and backlit them so their hair would have been their hair would have been backlit. And then the other thing, you know what I would do in this photo, if just to make this one better, because you can't go reshoot it, is crop it. I don't need to see his leg. I don't need to see any of that. I think they got a really nice kind of interaction going on between them.
Oh yeah, look how much stronger that is.
And it's just a much better photo.
Yeah, that's a much stronger photo right there. Even though he's now doubly amputee, but it looks like maybe an ad for The Walking Dead. But anyway, also her face is clipping. So you also overexpose the image to the point that her face is clipping. That's what that red spots are. You see where you've gone too far on that.
Turn them around, backlight them.
Yeah, there you go.
And you're good.
So it looks like you got an 85-1.4 or maybe a 51 something. It's okay. I'm not. Moving on.
The expression is not great.
Okay, this one's good. All right, this one's good. Let me tell you what you did that works here is you put the background softly out of focus. So that they actually stand out in this photo. You have a nice gesture. She's in a good pose. He's smiling, and that's just a cute shot, and it's the best executed of all 5 of these by far. And the contrast is the next shot, where it is an ugly background, and you left it exactly in focus. There's no way to separate them from the background or create a soft. And so what this is a busy, ugly kind of.
See, go back to the other one. So you filled the frame with really interesting stuff in that photo, and in the next photo, you could crop so much of that out.
And when you did that, you would crop by zooming. You don't want to crop afterwards. You would have zoomed in tight. Do you see how this background is soft behind them?
Yep.
Because it's not a bad background, but it's not an awesome background either. But the softness separates them from the background.
Could a vignette help
Here,
this?
they're probably in the background. Could a vignette help this one? I'm going to say yes. There you go. Actually, you could even crop this a hair tighter because you don't really need all this big brick here and all that. You could come in a little here, a little tighter. And if you go much tighter here, you're going to lose the mountain, but it's not really about the mountain. It's about them. I don't know.
But but that's the difference between those two photos. Is this one, you left all kinds of things in the frame that didn't need to be there.
This one looks like a pro took it.
Yeah.
This one looks like someone at the wedding took it. Like this was the person standing behind you with their point and shoot.
Because they didn't have a long enough lens.
They didn't have a long enough lens to make a good shot. This looks like it was shot at f11, and this looks like it was shot at like f4, f5.6. The background's not blurry enough to be f2.8, but it's something. And this last one. Well, her dress is blowing out. That's not good. Look at that. You've already clipped the bride's dress. By the way, when it comes to weddings, clipping the bride's dress and losing detail in their dress is instant death. And then this is how close you are to fixing that. You can either just lower the overall highlights. Look, that's all. Look how a tiny little slider move, whoop, it's fixed. Or you could just, you could go in here with the adjustment brush, go to highlights, and just paint over just that area, and that's fixed.
The thing that's getting me is her feet are bigger than her head.
Yeah, because you used a wide angle lens and you're down low, those are some big boats. Now, we know that her feet aren't really that big. Or are they? So this one's not working. You have one shot that's working here. This one would work if you move them back a few feet, got them in decent
light. Got all
light.
the makings.
That has the makings of a good shot. This is a good shot. So I would say, you obviously are capable of taking a good shot. Yeah. You need to move everything in tighter.
Dude, that's a great photo.
That's
every couple would love to have that photo.
They would love that photo. this couple, unless your goal was, I need to stay back.
Yeah.
Because he's got a goiter or something. I'm not saying that he does, but I mean,
all right.
Okay.
Just in case.
All right.
Just for
so
those.
we're gonna not slide. Okay, so that was one. Let's see where we're at here. Oh, you know what? Same thing. These images are coming in small, so let's open them. Oh, not there. Sorry. First time using Bridge. I'm a Lightroom guy. Here we go. You know what I would just say about this?
They're all over the place.
They're all over the place. Exactly. That was exactly the exact phrase I was going to use was they're all over the place. So you have a portrait of a child, you have a landscape, you have an editorial shot, you have an HDR-ish landscape, and another kid. You're kind of all over the place. So if I were to hire you for something, I don't know which photographer is going to show up. I really do like this shot of the little boy here.
I do too.
He looks scared. I would like him to look happy. He looks sad, but I kind of like the framing. He's over to the side. The light on him is good.
The post-processing.
It's got a little bit of juice on it. I like the square crop to it. I like this shot. I kind of like this shot. It just seems a little over-processed. Mm-hmm. A little too colorful. Let's pull the saturation down a bit. See, I like it better there. Just pulling the saturation down a bit. That's the vibrance there. So let me just... pulling it down a little, looks more realistic. Doesn't look, too artificial. I kind of like this one. I like the shadows and stuff. It seems crooked. But I think the problem is that line is probably straight. But then this line's crooked, and I don't know, the whole thing seems like it's leaning. But it's kind of an interesting, editorial shot. The golf course?
Yeah, I mean, you went out at the right time of day.
Yeah.
You captured the right light of the day.
Yeah.
It's just you probably went to a lake or golf course or whatever was close to you, and
yeah. That's what it looks like.
It's a great shot for that lake. It's
right,
just,
but it's not a good landscape. It's not like I always say you have to go to a great landscape to make a great landscape. The golf course right by your house, probably in that.
So if I can help you, the technicals are all there. Again, you did all the right stuff.
Yeah.
If you're ever at this lake again, or you come across another lake that looks pretty or something like that, it's foreground helps.
Yeah, so, you started in the middle of the shot.
The most common thing is you see a lake and you just capture all the reflection. But foreground when it comes to your landscapes is it's always it's usually one of the first things that landscape photographers look for. They get somewhere and they want foreground because they want to place the viewer there.
And it's because, to help you understand the composition of landscape photos, a landscape photo should have a beginning, a middle, and a background. You should have a foreground, middle, and background. What you have is middle and background. You could have rocks in front of you, a dock in front of you, the end of a boat in front of you, something in front of you to kind of anchor your eye and lead you into the photo. The problem is you started in the middle of the photo. You have a midground and a background.
I'm standing in the lake.
And also, it's a midground and a background of a golf course.
And what I was going to finish up with is foreground, middle ground, background. That's the rule. It's okay to break the rule, but you better make sure whatever's in that background is so freaking good looking. It's amazing that it's worth breaking that rule for.
Yeah. But looks like the 8th hole, I think. No, I'm just kidding.
It is a golf course.
Yeah.
I couldn't see that it was a golf course.
And this is cute. Cute little girl. I think I would have done some retouching on her face. She's got some, not eczema. What is it? It's
redness.
Redness. How's that? Redness. That's easy enough to get rid of. But cute. I mean, she's a cute little girl, and the background's nice and out of focus. You shot it, by the way, at f2.8, which made that background way out of focus. You also zoomed in to 160 millimeters. Hey, you got a comment from here. Kevin Russo. Not everyone is looking to get hired. Some people just like to take pictures. I don't see anything wrong with variety and getting a critique on each image, like you're doing. Okie doke. So, Kevin, what you're saying is you submitted a bunch of different images today, and yours are maybe in this batch, and so please don't go hard on you when you... Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. Well, that wasn't his images, obviously, but okay. All right, here's one. Bruno.
Well, I gotta look. I wanna.
All right. So I have one thing that strikes me from these 5 pictures. And that is, and this is going to sound weird, but it was the first thing that struck me when I went through these just now. You have something blocking everything. You have something in front of every picture. Take a look at this one. It would be a really nice picture, except for you've got a big stick right in front of everything. Now, go to the next one. This would be a much stronger picture if you didn't have some ugly weeds that are right in front of like, see all these ugly weeds popping up here? And you're like, I couldn't control that. I know, but unfortunately, that's like saying I couldn't control the fact that it wasn't a pretty sunset, or I couldn't control the fact that the animal was looking the other way. Unfortunately, all the weeds in front are blocking. Here's your image over here. What's in front of your image? What's blocking the interesting stuff? Big ugly bush. Mm-hmm. You know what this shot is mostly about? Big ugly bush.
Yeah, he took our foreground to the next level.
Yeah, all right. Now, this one, what's blocking? Here's this interesting. This kid is blocking it, way out of focus. The next kid, way out of focus. The next kid, still out of focus. All 3 of these kids are out of focus. You know what's in focus? The ocean, way back here.
And the crooked horizon line.
And the crooked horizon. Oh, the crooked horizon line. Instant death. All right, watch. Here's how you fix it. You grab the straightening tool and...
Wait, can we give a tip?
Sure.
Undo that?
Double click on it. Just double click on it.
Look at that.
There it is. Does it for you. All right. Okay, so out of focus, out of focus, out of focus. Everybody in your shot's out of focus. And you send it in like, hey, what do you think of my work? I'm not thinking so much right now, I gotta tell you. 3 out of focus kids you're 3 for 3. All right, and then we'll go back to here.
I mean, it looks like it could be...
You know what it is? There's a beautiful sunset blocked by a building.
Yeah, it looks like it could be spectacular. I mean...
Spectacular sunset. You were drawn by the reflection in the water, but it's a bunch of stuff there.
So, to go back to that foreground thing, you know what it is? You're on the other side.
Yeah.
You're on the other side of the person we just talked to. You're putting too much foreground in.
Yeah, you're letting all this stuff get in front of your image here. There.
Yeah.
This one is the most subtle, but it kills it from being a much better image.
Just
it's not really
owl?
bad. I would say this, though. It's cropped a little tight. For an animal, they always say if you crop an animal too tight, it makes the animal feel like they're almost in a cage. They're almost constricted. Look how close you are to the paws here and the tail. It's very, very close cropped. If you're going to crop in, you get in here.
The other thing is I mean, I hate to say this as a rule, but I think black and white for wildlife photos, especially something like this, I think it kind of takes away from it almost, you know?
Yeah.
Because those animals have color and those colors contrast with the background, but I don't know.
Did you want to show us something there?
I will go. So, you know, I mean, actually, if it weren't for the branch, that'd actually be a
the branch is what's killing it.
Pretty decent owl shot.
I know, but the problem is
the branch is killing.
The branch is killing the shot. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And so, and I don't want to tell you that would be very, very hard to remove in Photoshop. Not impossible, but it would be a pain in the buttocks. You'd have to rebuild part of the owl. Yeah, but
it's a nice owl shot. Aside from the branch.
But unfortunately, the branch is there. Now, Brad made a comment here, because we talk about this too, is they may be going off for the concert photography tip, which is if it's bad light, make it black and white. So, and that is if you go to a concert and like the person's green and it's unflattering, you can just make it black and white. Or the light show isn't great, you can make it black and white. In that case, it may not have been. There may not have been a lot of contrast, and they might have said, well, it looks better in black and white, and sometimes it will. But anyway, so Bruno, here's the thing, and I'm only saying your name because you wrote it on every picture. So Bruno, need to work on, focus, having a straight, a horizon line there. And these are pretty much all composition. They're all compositional problems.
Yeah, Bruno's got lighting down. They're all pretty much taken in the right light.
Yeah, they're all. Yeah, you're right. Good point.
He's got lighting down.
Soft lighting. You're not out there in harsh lighting. You're out there, but it's just
that one's a little dark, but the post is there on most of them too.
Yeah. All right. So you got something to work on, but you're not like out of the ballpark. All right, let's see what we have here.
Ooh, I can tell.
One.
I just saw the thumbnails on these.
2, 3, 4, 5. All right. My overall comment is, ooh.
Dude, I love this photo.
You know what else? Here's what I like. I can tell the same photographer took them.
Yeah.
I can tell. I know it's not variety, blah, blah. But you know what it is? I can tell you something about this photographer. If I hired this person, I know not everybody gets hired, blah, blah, blah. But this person, they have a consistent look. They have a consistent type of post-processing. I like their composition. They use a lot of leading lines in their composition. And I really like their black and white.
Yeah.
The black and white's very, very effective here. Now, if
I'd like that first photo in my portfolio. Very first.
I would like this one.
Yeah, I was thinking that one was a little bit. It was a little bit flat. Yeah, because then it matches all those other ones.
Yeah. So
or her.
here's the before and after there. It's kind of interesting, bright, but it looks weird to our eye because you wouldn't see that. So, and a little clarity wouldn't ever hurt anybody. There you go.
Never.
So there you go. But still, I mean, that's just me nitpicking. I think this person did a nice job.
Compositions there. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of like.
Yeah, keep up the good work. I don't know, nice long exposure here. You know, good stuff. I mean, you're doing a good job. Yay. Yay you.
Good processing, yeah.
Good job. Yay, high five. All right, high five to you. Here are we here? Ooh, kind of like interesting. I say that's a very pleasing collection there.
I like them.
All right, let's get them a little bigger. You know what I love about, I mean, this is the pattern interrupted. You have all this stuff that's exactly the same, and then something in the middle that interrupts it. Very nice. The only thing that I would say, and this is just a minor critique, is it's right kind of dead in the middle. Mm-hmm. I would prefer to see it maybe over to one side or the other. So if you had to, maybe just kind of pull it over to where it's not just dead in the center.
Or if you zoomed in and put it, even if it were in the center, but on the upper third or bottom, like I almost kind of want to see that zoomed in a little bit more too.
It's too dead centered, but that's just, it's still a good picture. Still.
Oh yeah.
So maybe like that. Oh, I went to you said it was still okay to be in the center, just in the upper third.
I just wanted to see it zoomed in a little bit.
I think I would like the lower third.
And maybe yeah.
Anyway, I still do a cool shot. So good on you. Let's see, clear crop. All right. I always like shots with atmosphere.
I love it.
I think foggy, misty things are really, really nice.
I like this photo a lot.
And I like this one because I love the color and I love how low the sun is and the beams coming through. It's just a pleasing shot. And
dappled light works there, like that.
Yeah,
as long as it's not on a person.
Yeah, we love beams of light. If I was
good.
going to pose somebody there, it would be right behind that tree where the shade is. So none of that dapple light hit them. And then lastly is, I think that's also, you know what these are? These are just nice, pleasing shots. These are shots that you look at and you go, oh, these are beautiful, very nice.
And they're all very different, but they all do have a similar style
They
to
do.
them.
His post-processing looks very similar. Even though they're very, very different, you can tell this is the same photographer.
So have a dreamy look.
So for example, let's just say that if you were going to buy his stuff, you could put these in the lobby of like a hotel and they would look like a set. You could put all four there together and you would go, oh, okay. You could put them on a wall in a hotel or an office conference building or whatever. They would look good. I think this photographer is doing a nice job. I like their post-processing. Scott King. Hey, Scott. Scott says, so when people submit photos of the same model, they are always told to get different subjects. Does that apply here or does it just not matter? I guess Scott's probably referring to the last one, the architectural.
Oh, because they all kind of seemed of Sydney.
Were they all of Sydney? Yeah, I mean, obviously, Scott, if I had my druthers, I would love to see Sydney, New York, Paris, London. I'd like to see New York, London, Paris, Munich. Anybody? Anybody? No? Seriously, no? New York, London, Paris, Munich.
Yeah, see, I was going to live in America, but that's...
No, everybody talk about pop music. Nobody, oh my God. Does anybody have MTV?
I know the song.
New York, London, Paris, Munich.
Now you say
everybody
it,
talk about pop music. Talk about pop music. Talk about.
So,
it's all around you. Pop, pop,
so Scott, what I would say about the...
No, it's not James Brown.
I know, but I'm swinging it back to something.
You're
Pete
old,
Collins.
it's okay.
Pete Collins is always there with the reference. Like you did. I'm just very disappointed.
So
But you had an image I needed this week, so
would
good
you
on
let
you.
me talk to Scott King?
Talk to Scott, Ken.
So, Scott, what I would say is, I agree with Scott. Like, yeah, it'd be preferred. I'm going to guess that maybe that guy from Sydney, he was doing the best with what he had.
He's in one city, but you know what? Here's the thing. I know that the guy from Sydney, that's funny. Brad writes, you're old, it's okay. The guy from Sydney could take, that he can take that look and that feel and apply it to any city he goes to. Because he had all of the photographic skills and all the post-processing skills, all the composition. He could just take that and go to Melbourne and do the same thing.
Yep.
And that's Melbourne, Florida, which is near Daytona. Okay, let's look at this next one. Here we go. Oh, it's a helmet. That's a helmet with an umbrella. You can see the umbrella, like the little arms and all. Okay. All right, sorry. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Okay, so overall, I'm digging this person. I will say this. Of course, I like an action shot. It's kind of neat. It's a little tight maybe here on this player, and I like that the catcher's mitt is not the mitt. The mask is in the air, and he's scooping down to get the ball. I like this one. It's not my favorite. I tell you what, these I like. I think they are backlit, right? They're all backlit. So what I would do is maybe go to Camera Raw and open up the shadows a little bit, so you see a little more detail. So look at the difference here by bringing up the shadows amount. Look at the difference in detail you're seeing here.
Also,
right?
Can you shift double click on the whites and blacks?
Yeah. So if you hold the shift key and double click on whites, it'll set your white point. If you shift and double click on the blacks, so this is the like auto levels. Yeah. Kind of. It stretches out the blacks and whites. Now, if you try that in your Camera Raw and it doesn't work, that's because that's in Camera Raw CC. That's if you have to have Photoshop CC for that to work. And a newer, like one of the recent ones.
But all three of those looked a little flat.
Yeah, and maybe add a little clarity in there. Okay, so you can see it's a little better. But and I actually probably wouldn't do it to the whole image. I would probably just paint it in. So I'm going to reset this real quick. I would get the brush instead. Let's open up the shadows a little bit, not quite as much. Maybe open up the exposure and add some clarity, and then just paint it right in on him. Now, if this is going to go, in the newspaper or something, you're not going to do something this extreme. But, for your own portfolio or what have you, maybe. I like the way nothing's actually happening at all.
Dude, Camera Raw's brush takes forever.
I usually don't have that problem. Oh, there we go. Boom. You know what? A restart would fix this because mine actually works fairly quick. Okay, and I went a little too heavy-handed on that. But you know what he did that's really good is when you have something like this, a moving thing or an animal or whatever, he left space in front for it to go. See, on the back it's really tightly cropped, but he did a very important thing on the front. He left it open. Space. And if you look at the next couple of ones in here, same thing. He's got space to run, and this one's got space to go. So while he cropped them tight to the back, this is another one where I just want to see more detail. Now, of course, I like to see the rider's eyes and stuff, but this is another one where I just want to see detail in the bike. Now, I'm going too far here, but I just want to show you. It did capture the detail. However, you know what else it captured? Is that bad white balance. Because he's in the shade, because the sun's on the other side of him, that winds up giving him a white balance that is blue. It makes you look blue. Cool. So let me just see if I can just fix a little bit of that just by moving the temperature. All temperature. Those should be gray like that or black. It shouldn't be blue. Now, I would probably use the adjustment brush and paint over just this area. But it was, they were blue. Yeah. They were straight up blue. So
I think it's good. I think it's good to note what he's also doing well is actually not an easy thing where he's panning and he's getting that motion in the background.
You're seeing wheel spin and wheel spin. That's critical from a shot from the side of a moving vehicle. If you shoot it at a high shutter speed, it freezes the wheels, makes it look like it's parked. He's got spin in there, and he's got a lot of detail. This guy's doing a good job.
Because I don't think people realize, like, if you just walk out in midday, and you said you want to shoot a 1/1500th of a second, you can shoot it all. You will freeze the action. Yeah. You could turn your camera on program mode. Yeah. And I could give it to my kid, and he will take a sharp photo of that bike. There's no way he doesn't. But it's all those other things that come into play that make it good.
Whoever this is, man or woman, doing a very good job.
Steven asked if that little double click, the whites and blacks tip, which sets auto levels, does it work in Lightroom as well? Yes, it does.
Yes,
well, in the latest version of Lightroom.
Yes, it does. On the latest version. Hey, we're going to take a short break. When we come back, we are going to look at some more images. We have some more to critique. Don't forget, we got a bunch of giveaways today here on the show, and we will be right back. Don't go away. We're live on the grid doing our blind photo critique show. We'll be right back.
Hey, Corey, we're going to that new pizza place across the street after work. You in?
I really wish I could, man. I'm under deadline with this book. I gotta get it done.
You're a machine, Corey. You're a machine!
Well, you have no idea.
From the robotic compositing mind of Corey Barker, learn step-by-step Photoshop tricks, type effects, extracting, textures, Hollywood effects, and really badass 3D. Photoshop Down and Dirty Tricks for Designers, Volume 2. Your mind will be composited away.
Hey, we're back. Scott Kelby here with Matt Kloskowski.
Hey, so I wanted to make a quick comment on, remember the comment earlier in the show where somebody said, not everybody wants to sell to clients and maybe they just want to, have a lot of different photography, critique, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think one of the things I'd say to that, because I can understand it, and I think maybe in some way we've all kind of been there. Like we've all almost done that where we shot everything.
Yeah, I've done it, yeah.
But I think one of the reasons why that we always kind of get on that topic is we want to help you get better, and it's really hard to help you get better at everything. So when we see 5 of your photos and we see you all over the place, one of the first things I think we can do to help you get better is to say, pick something you really like, because it's going to be hard for you to get good at everything, and it's going to be hard for anyone to appreciate you being good at everything.
You sent me one landscape shot. Are you a landscape photographer? You sent one city shot. You sent one shot of a cat. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, where are you at? And so, like Matt says, it's very, very hard to get good at everything. If you can figure out what it is that you want to focus on, then you can put all your things to that. And that's why I think when you see like that photographer shooting the downtown stuff, that's what obviously he's into, right? Yeah. And he's obviously gotten good at it, because he's not trying to cover everything. Now, when you first start photography, you have to shoot everything because you don't know what you like generally. You're like, I'll try shooting flowers. I'll try shooting wildlife. I'll try shooting landscapes. Something's going to go, wow, I really like this. I think this is real. Something's going to resonate with you. And when you do that, I think that's when you go, okay, now I'm going to focus and study this topic, and so.
And whether it's here or wherever it happens to be, if you're going to submit images for a critique, what I would do is I would figure out, I got everything. I got pictures of people and products. I have all that stuff. But what I would do is I would gather the images of what I really am into. Right. And submit those for the critique, not all the other stuff.
Can we just for a second? Can you pull up your portfolio real quick and just let me tell you this? So I talk about this on my tour. Is like last year, and Matt has shot everything. Matt shoots families, he shoots people, he shot studio stuff with lighting. He's done all these different. He does travel, he does all kinds of different stuff. But last year, Matt said, you know what I really like, and I really feel like I have a knack for, is landscape photography. And so Matt really invested a year in his landscape photography. And so when Matt would go do a seminar tour, he would fly out a day early, or he would, invest his own money, because I ain't flying him around, invest his own money, and he would fly to a particular place, and he did the things that you have to do to make really good landscape images. Well, what Matt did was, Matt didn't spend a penny on anything for a year but landscape images. Matt didn't buy any new equipment. Matt didn't buy anything different. What Matt focused on was, I want to go to the places where landscape photography is made. The techniques for landscape photography are not very hard, luckily. I think it's one of the easiest ones as far as like camera settings and technical stuff goes.
And gear.
And gear, right? And so you don't need a lot of gear. But so Matt said, this is what I'm going to focus on. And where and I always thought Matt was a really good landscape photographer, but he has jumped and can we just show some of your stuff? Do you mind?
Am I on the, okay, I'm on.
And just take a look at some of Matt's stuff. Look at this one. Now this one, can we go back to that one? Matt put this on 500px, and those of you who know 500px know it's a wonderful site with a lot of amazing photographers, and they vote your images up and down. Basically, I like this, I don't like it, but mostly it's I like it or I just ignore it. This one got all the way to #1.
Yeah, that was
in a huge worldwide community of people. And what Matt went through to get this shot, I linked to it on my blog this week. The story of him having to wade in water up to his neck, freezing cold water in a wetsuit, and climbing over a dam and all this different stuff that he had to do to get to there.
A fun day.
But you know what? Matt made the commitment to, I want to get this type of shot. And you don't get that type of shot at the golf course. You got to go to these amazing places.
And then the thing about it is sometimes you just get lucky.
Yeah, you just get lucky. But you know what? Can I tell you something? The photographer earlier that had the shot of the golf course, he has the technical stuff. If he'd have gone to where Matt was, he would have got a great shot. He'd have got a killer shot. So what he really needs is he doesn't need photography training. He needs a plane ticket.
Yeah.
So look at these, dude. These are sick.
Well, thank you very much for that.
But anyway, but that's what we're talking about when you're all over the place. If you decide, like the photographer that we're about to show you right here, let's take a look on screen. This photographer is saying, I'm trying to get good at this, and this photographer is good at this.
Yes.
So here's 1, 2. This one. I just want to read the headline. Awaken his desires. All right.
Relay.
#4 and #5. So here's what. #1, photographer, high five. Styling. Someone's doing your styling for you. So maybe it's you. Maybe it's a female photographer and she's doing the styling, because this has a little bit more sensibility than guys do for styling. So maybe it's female.
There's no guidance.
But anyway, I dig this. But you know what I really like? I like what you're doing in the background here, and maybe it was done in post. And I like to see the rock formation in that.
I didn't see it.
So I tell you what, you got a series right here, right? And you got something, and you're this close. Ooh, it's really, really nice. So I would stick with this series, and this is nice too. It's got a more of a commercial look, and squids coming out of her hair. This isn't my favorite, but it's still well done. And this one, I like. The background's not as compelling as the others, but I like the gesture and I like the lighting. You got the lighting down. You're getting interesting looks and interesting poses and interesting hair. But I tell you what, you're nailing is the styling. I want to see more in this series up here. But so my only advice to you is keep doing what you're doing. I think your lighting is on track. Your post-processing is on track. It's
the background stuff is neat. That's different.
Isn't it?
I've never
it's
seen
different.
it.
I like it.
They're not trying to make it a composite. They're trying to make it kind of,
Yeah, like it's a
fine art,
background.
really
So
kinda.
I'm digging it. And I like the styling, like how she's blind, like she's got a thing
blindfold.
on. Yes, thank you. That's the word I was looking for. A blindfold.
You're halfway there.
But just cool styling and stuff. I don't know. I think this is just.
I would go to the next one again. So is that really an ad, you think?
I don't know, but that's definitely a squid coming out of her hair.
Does a squid
or
awaken his
octopus.
desires?
No, is that an octopus or a squid? It's something unattractive coming out of her hair. Let me put it this way. If you go on a date with her and she shows up like this, you're like, I'm not sure that this date's going to come off.
The work is all well done. It's just I'm trying to figure out how that squid awakens his desire.
Oh, Pete. Wow. Pete says.
Pete just in with line of the day.
Line of the day. She's too clingy.
All right.
Sorry. Anyway, good job. You're doing good. Super digging it. All right, here we go. Have we done this guy before? I think I've seen this shot before. Not this one. I've seen that before. We're not even going to count that one because it's like so far.
That's not supposed to be part of the set.
That's not supposed to be part of the set?
That is from the last one.
That's from the last
one.
Okay, all right.
I'm like, man, something doesn't fit there.
Okay, well, that's kind of interesting and creepy. I like this. You know when I would love this? This is taken from, I'm guessing, the top of the Tour Montparnasse in Paris, the tallest building in France. I would love to see this later in the day. There are some nice beams and stuff.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of blown out that's just kind of overtaken. But still, I mean, it's kind of a cool image. I like the composition. I would just love to see it later in the day.
It's a crazy sky.
This one's just, I got a little carried away with my post-processing. Just lower the vibrance a little.
Yeah, I mean, it's got that gritty HDR-y kind of look.
Yeah.
It is just, yeah.
Just back it off a little bit.
Back off on the color.
I think the vibrance really is, if we could back off a little. But you know, it's going to look kind of flat because it's been so processed. Now it looks like flat. So I think maybe just the post-processing in general, just back off it a little bit. But still, you know, not bad. This one's kind of nice. And this is in Tempe, Arizona, I believe it is. This is the bridge across the Tempe River. Now it's obviously Paris. And that's kind of interesting. I like the post-processing thing better here than I did there. That one just seems like a little too over the top, but this one I think is and I like the star brights you're getting out of the, you know, shooting at like f20 or 22 or something.
Yeah. One
This just looks too crunchy. It's like over sharpened or something. You're getting some of these. I'm guessing those are trails from cars driving by. This one is my least favorite because I think there's some. It looks crunchy. It's like,
I think the building could actually be a little bit darker too.
Yeah.
Just to kind of, it's almost too bright.
Yeah.
Given the darkness.
But
of the
overall,
photo.
I mean, you're a good photographer. I mean, you're doing good stuff, and you got post-processing skills.
Consistent style.
Your amp's at like 9. Your amp's not at 10, but your amp's at 9. If you turn it down to 7.5, we could hear the notes a little better. So that's.
But man, you live in a great place to take those kinds of photos too. There's so much.
Let's see. Oh, we're gonna have to open them up in Camera Raw. Here we go. So here's the interesting thing. I think this photographer is better when they're lighting stuff than when they're using natural light. Like, I think this is kind of interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a kind of a nice composite. I like the way the stick is coming at you, and I kind of like the. I mean, it's like a, you know, pretty good. I'm sure that the family that you made this for, or if it's your family, loves this. I think it's kind of cool, and that's not lit. This one looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's my favorite one.
Yeah, that's my favorite one too. I like the kind of the kicker light on the left side. You know, it's good. The only thing about this shot is it looks like maybe you got in close with a wide angle lens and it's distorted his face a little bit. Look at how big the cap is, and it's just a little distorted. So I would just maybe back off, maybe like step back and use a longer lens would be more flattering, but I think the lighting and stuff is really good. The ones that I'm not really crazy about is this one. Now it looks like you did try to light this one, but you're mostly lighting the ground. This is really well lit down here, and they're not as right. Like my eye is drawn right down here to this instead of where it should be drawn to them. And it's a little too tight on the cropping.
As is the next one.
As is the next one, which is way too tight on the cropping.
Normally we're telling people you got to crop out the headroom.
Yeah. So here's the thing is, I have a bunch of grass here that's not helping me. And up here, we're really cut tight. So just not bad, but I mean, and the light's not bad. So so here's the good things about the photographer. You're very cognizant of the light. You're not very cognizant of cropping or composing the shot. So same thing here. I'm seeing all this ugly stuff and this junk and all this other stuff is like, what's this shot about? Is it about the ugly stuff? No, it's really about them. So I don't need to see, in fact, I might even crop it a little tighter than that. I don't need to see all this ugly stuff. In fact, I don't need to see a lot of this stuff. In fact, I don't even need this to be a tall shot. So I'm not sure exactly where the crop is, but that's more interesting and intriguing to me on a beautiful background than all the distracting junk and stuff like that. But anyway, not a bad job. I think your lighting's really getting there, so. Nice lighting here too, you know. It's just this is some good stuff. This one's just this doesn't look any different except for you put a vignette on it than if you walked in and just, you know, pulled out your camera phone and took a shot.
That's an iPhone photo.
Yeah, it's an iPhone photo. There's nothing really going on there. But you got some skills. You're on your way. You're on your way. All right, let's see. What do we got here? Okay. Can't see it. Let's just open them up big. That's cool. I don't know what it is. Is it a DJ? It's a little too dark to see. DJ.
Yeah, DJ.
There we go. DJ. That's cool. I like that.
You might want to make it a little brighter.
Yeah, I might want to make it a little brighter so we can see what it is, but that's cool. That's just cool. I like that shot. It's all right. It's very, very bright back there, and so my eye is drawn over there instead of over here. So maybe you can pull down those highlights a little, but still.
It's a neat lifestyle shot.
Yeah, it's lifestyle-y.
You'd like in a little bit less harsh light. If you could subdue that or just have shot it at a little bit less harsh light time of day, it's actually really like if your client was the school or whatever it was, it's actually a nice lifestyle photo.
That's nice. I love the colors. I'd like to see a little more of the bridge detail. See, this is one I think you could use the adjustment brush on and bring up the detail in the bridge here. Let's open up the exposure and maybe some shadows and just paint over this area so I can see something up there. I'm not seeing jack here. This literally, why it's going so slow like this is because I just need a restart. Because like it should be, I just like to see a little detail. That's a little too much right up there, but I like to see, I like that shot. That's just so creepy. And it's cropped creepy.
Yeah.
This is out of focus. There's nothing in this photo that's in focus.
Now, could you be zoomed in past 100%?
Oh.
I think it's just a small version of the photo. Yeah, I think it's just a small version of the photo, but
all right, yeah.
I'm not sure I know how to critique those last two.
Yeah, the last two are just kind of, I don't know. But I really like your first one. I like your third one. Your second one's okay. Obviously you have some skills, and I think that's a terrific shot. I think this is one of the best of the day. That's just a really compelling, interesting. The characters are interesting. Their gesture is really good. This
atmosphere.
Bright, and you would say, well, your eyes are drawn to the bright light, but that's kind of what's interesting about the shot, is that it looks like this thing's going to suck them up in there, and off they go. I don't know. This is just a cool, and I don't know.
And I hate to say, I don't know what even to say about the last two photos. It's just
And it's probably the same guy.
Not seeing it in context of
you see
what
a tie,
you use it for, it's just weird.
And then,
there's no real lighting, deliberate lighting that's going on.
I don't know. But anyway, good photographer. They got some stuff going on. I don't know how much help our critique was there, but all right. Let's see. Oops, I'm going to have to go to the camera raw trick again. Hey, we're going to do one more. We'll take a break here. Hold on. All right. You know what? This is a good photographer.
Same photographer.
You can tell their look and tell everything. I think this person's doing a great job. I love this shot.
I do too.
I love it. I love the post-processing. I love the feel of it. I just really like this shot. And you know what? These are lovely. Now, if I had to be picky, you got a little dappled light coming across her cheek here. You got some dappled light back there. I would have just worked to get rid of that. But it's a nice expression, and it looks like, I like it. And I think this is a very deliberate, nice, and there's no dappled light, and the light's pretty good. This one's good. The cropping, a little maybe. But anyway, I like this. The only thing here is, and this is a wonderful long exposure shot. It was a 5-second exposure at f/16. This little twig.
I know. I saw
Go
it.
get rid of that
Showed me
twig.
that.
Get rid of that twig. Why is that twig there? It's like ugh.
It's a beacon of.
It's drawing me over to ugh. And you have such a nice shot here. But anyway, this is a good photographer. Very good. Nice job. You're really on the right track. I love your post-processing. Very nice stuff all the way around. Good job. Hey, we're going to take a short break. We have a few more to go through. We also have Peachpit e-deal coming up and some other stuff. So don't go away. We're live right here on the grid.
Have you ever seen a close-up photograph and thought, wow, I wonder how they made that? Wait till you see what we're going to photograph in my new close-up classes. We're going to photograph dropping strawberries into water and freezing them, taking pictures of rocks, the flowers, colored pencils, all kinds of great things, and we're going to make them look big like this.
And in the class, we're going to photograph all this stuff here. Look at that. We're going to have a blast.
Want me to take it in?
Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, hey everybody, welcome back to The Grid Live. Matt Kloskowski here with Scott Kelby. We are doing live photo critiques. Before we get back to them, we have a Peachpit gives us basically a deal of the week where we get to give you 40% off of a book. So this week, it is The Art of Digital No.
Presentations and design.
I don't know what to look at. There's something else. Anyway, so this week it's presentation design, presentation Zen design. I actually got this book last week after the show.
Did you?
Yeah,
by Gar Reynolds. Great. Yeah. He's terrific.
So this is the second edition. I was looking through it. Great stuff. And
where do they go to get the deal?
Peachpit.com/KelbyOne. Enter the code KelbyOne
at checkout, and you get 40% off. Hey, also just want to mention, so tomorrow, which would be Thursday, every Thursday on KelbyOne, we introduce a brand new class. So every Thursday, it's new class day. Yay! And tomorrow, excuse me, we have a couple of different series. So one of the series that we did is the business side of, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like the business side of Joe McNally or the business side of Peter Hurley and all. Then we have the inspirational side where the artists actually get to talk about their work. And so tomorrow we have a very, very good one from someone who I think is terrific. It's the artistic side or the inspirational side of Lindsay Adler. Yep. And Lindsay Adler is a tremendous businesswoman, but she's also a great photographer. And so sometime tomorrow, I don't know what time they put them up, but tomorrow, our new class on the inspirational side of Lindsay Adler. Really, if you haven't seen these series, they're very, very popular. And so if you haven't seen these...
Oh, people love them.
People love them. They're very,
and,
very... they're better than you think.
Mia McCormick and Larry Becker, who's kind of split the interviews, do a wonderful job.
They do.
Of really capturing the
you know what? It's kind of like watching a TV show about photography. It's really good. So if you get a chance, and here's some of the new classes we have up there. Tamara Lucky had a new class last week, which is photographing babies and toddlers. So that's a brand new one. We've got a lot of people asked about learning safari photography. So we have Rick Salmon doing that. And then Dixie Dixon, who is also a fashion photographer, which I don't know, what just kind of worked out that way. They both came out, but she's terrific. She's like one of the up and coming stars, and they're both really good businesswomen. Their business insights are really really great too. So catch those if you get a chance.
Can we just give a quick teaser of a series that we're working on?
Yes, you may.
I guess it's a bad time to ask.
No, it's fine.
So we are Mia McCormick. So we had a meeting, a few months ago, and Mia brought up a series of basically pioneering women in photography.
Yeah.
And so we've got a brand new series on that. She's gone out and she's got some amazing photographers, and we have our first one, Lou Freeman, and I think she's going to be a guest next week on The Grid too. But our first one coming here next week to do an interview with us too. So
awesome.
Cool stuff.
Pioneering women. All right. So let's look at a couple more here. We're going to wrap up here shortly. So let's take a look at what we got here. I had to make it bigger here in the what you call it, the old camera. There's one. There's one. There's one. Nice. I will say I like the first four. The last one's just kind of
Yeah. So
it's
let's go back.
But I think the first one looks like a postcard, like a Norman Rockwell kind of thing. I like it. It's got a scary sky.
So, because so often we tell people, oh, it's a dead tree. Or it's a dead tree or a leafless tree, And so often we tell people, and so sometimes this is like a perfect example of why it's so hard to put into words. It works here.
Yeah.
It works
because
here.
It looks like winter.
Snow, winter, it's cold. Yeah. The post-processing is cold on it. I mean,
and it invokes a particular time, and it makes sense that the trees don't have leaves on them. They're not ugly because they're not the focus of it. They're a part of it. The focus of it is the barn.
And you know where, and just to give you an example, just based on a photo, if you watched earlier in the show, that photo with the lake and the golf course photo.
Right.
So let's say they had put a tree into the foreground of that photo and it was a tree that looked like on here, it wouldn't have worked.
Right, it wouldn't have worked.
It was a warm photo. The photo just kind of had life to it, and
right.
it wouldn't have worked, but it works for this.
But a lot of times we also get photos where the ugly dead tree is the focus of the shot.
Yeah.
And I think that your eye is clearly drawn to the barn. It's the red thing in there. It's different. But the overall landscape works. Of course, this is great that you're seeing this action. I'm either stealing from this other bird or this is my baby bird. This is Matt's baby bird.
God, did they strobe them? I mean, it looks like they were lit.
Now, this one is looks like, is this Nubble Lighthouse?
It's that one in Maine.
Yeah, in Maine, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Nubble Lighthouse. It's like at night, and so you had to kind of, paint over this or something. This is my least favorite. It's the post-processing's a little, and the whole thing looks soft and illustrated, but still not bad. I kind of like this one, and it's okay. And this one just is out of place with the rest. Anybody walking by there would have kind of went, okay, click.
I guess this person lives up north.
Yeah, but good job overall. I think you're doing pretty good. Just a couple more, and we'll wrap things up. Oh boy, I did the thing again. Here we go.
Not the thing.
Creepy.
Walking Dead.
Car wash sign.
Not The Walking Dead. Dappled light.
Dappled light. Okay, so this is interesting. So you don't have the lighting stuff down yet, but you're doing some interesting stuff, right? So like the lighting here, it's really hard for us to judge this shot, but you're trying to do something cool. This is street photography, kind of walk by the car wash sign. No one's going to look at this and go, ooh, car wash sign. So it's just kind of But here's where you got to work on the lighting. See that dappled light? That little dappled light over there? That's dappled light. It's not good. It's bad.
Luckily, you could probably clone that one out.
Yeah, you can clone that out in 2 seconds. Here, let's do it. Get the patch tool.
I'm thinking patch.
And go, let's move this over here. And pretty much, that wasn't a good patch at all. Let's try it over here. There you go. And boom, you're done, and you fix it. I would go ahead and fix this as well. This is not particularly, it's kind of distracting over there, and that's not a great patch. But boom, it's a lot better. But unfortunately, you're cutting off her eye a little bit there, which is kind of distracting. But overall, you've got the light behind her, which is good. Mm-hmm. Which makes the light in front of her soft. So there's some good things going on there too. So I don't want to
If I could add one thing to this photo,
you may.
It's almost like a little too she looks like she's got really cool hair, and he's got her backlit. I'd love to see what it looked like with that hair.
You know why you're not seeing it? Because there was a guy beside her over here.
Yeah.
Crop the guy out. Right. Okay. So let's go. Let's zoom over to the bridge here. Okay. So this
you don't say that often.
All right. So this one, I know the bridge. Okay. So this one down here, this unfortunately, look, dappled light right across her nose, right over here, coming through her armpit, half an arm. Just stay out of direct light. Direct light is not your friend. You need to be in the shade. Now, I know this looks like you intentionally tried to put something in front of her for effect, and that's why I still am going to give you points, because I think it's still okay. You were trying to do something photographically that you've seen before. So. And I kind of like the gesture, and I like her look and all. It's just, unfortunately, you put her in dappled light. Dappled light is just, it's so easy. Get a $19 diffuser. Go to FJ Westcott, buy a diffuser, hold it over her head. You got a great shot. So a diffuser just you put it between you and the sun. This is just, I don't know what's going on here. Something dark. Darkness.
Dark alleyway?
Fall. Okay, maybe
is
that's
that a ghosted person?
Ghosty person. Yeah, that's kind of okay, but I think you're trying to shoot people more, and you're not far off. You're in the ballpark, so you're doing some good things. So I'm giving you some love. Here we go.
They may go on.
All right, you have 2 shots I like. This one looks like, Matt, look at this and tell me what this looks like. Think about it for a second.
Epcot?
No, it's not an actual place.
Oh.
It's that one map on Call of Duty
Oh,
Paris.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like that area? Because like right around this corner, you turn right and there's that alley where you hide in that building.
I did. I hid there.
Dude, you lived down in that building, and as people would come around the corner, you'd pick them off.
I grenade people like
this
crazy.
Looks just like a scene. I mean, just like a scene from, I think it was Call of Duty Black Ops. Was it Black Ops?
The one before the newest one.
Yeah, so Black Ops. For Black Ops 2? No.
I lose track.
I lose track. We play them all. But anyway, I like this. And this has got a lot of processing, but I like it.
It works.
I love the wet. I love how empty it is and how wet it is.
You know what makes it is the wet ground.
The wet ground makes it. And same thing here. I like this. It's heavily post-processed, but it's appropriate. This is nothing. I hate to say it, but you know what? If one of these was a different color and these people weren't just walking around like bystanders, and this looks like maybe someplace in Vegas, right? This is nothing. It's just, I'm sorry. This woman could not look more bored. You're trying to create a picture that makes me go, wow. A woman looking bored on her cell phone with a bottle of water just ain't, there's nothing special about it. If she had a great expression, if she was surprised, if she was laughing, if there was some kind of gesture, this is the most bored person I could find that day, and I made it black and white. Same thing here. It's not a bad picture, but it's just kind of a guy who's not super interesting looking.
Why are you taking a picture of me?
Yeah, like, why are you taking a picture of me? He's not a particularly interesting person doing a boring thing. He's just standing there looking at you like, what are you doing?
So,
unfortunately, those are bad. So here's what I would say is,
you're good at the other stuff.
This stuff, I like your composition. I love your post-processing. I like the fact that it's wet. I like the fact that you waited till there was nobody there. You got some good stuff going on. Though this looks like it could be like Epcot or something, right? Like it could be. Or it could be Paris, but I kind of doubt it. Yeah, this stuff, work on this. This is good stuff. This stuff, don't do it all. This stuff, just find more interesting people. Just find someone, watch Jay Mazel's classes.
Yeah.
Go watch Jay's classes, because Jay talks a lot about gesture, and I really pressed him, what do you mean by gesture? And he's like someone's doing something you don't normally see every day. They're doing something that you go, that's odd, or that's different, or why is she doing that? Or doing some kind of gesture that draws your eye. The gesture of this guy is nothing. It's just...
And the girl on the phone is everybody's like, oh, I do that all the time.
Drive by any high school, you'll see 500 kids doing this, looking at their phone and looking bored. It's not a bad photo. It's just not a good photo. It's just very eh. So if your goal was to make photos, but I don't think it is. I think you're because you can see this person's pretty good. Tom says, what if the photographer wanted to show boredom? I think the photographer would create boredom with these two shots. All right.
If it was a contest, then
yeah,
you'd have a good photo for it.
And here's the last one we're going to do today. 4 images. Count them 4. Here we go. I call it Bridge with Dog. They got some skills. Ski?
Yeah. Love the clouds. Love the composition. Was that snow? Is that ice? Oh, yeah, that is snow.
Snow and ice and a black dog.
Yeah, it's got a very cool, wintry feeling to it. I like it. That is obviously the star of the photo is the Northern Lights.
Yep.
So.
Same thing here.
Same thing there.
But you know what's nice is this photographer has got a good grasp of composition, because what they're doing is, what they're showing you is, the sky was really interesting, so I'm showing you a lot of sky. The sky was really interesting, so I'm showing you a lot of sky. The sky was really interesting. I'm showing you a lot of sky. Then down here,
the foreground
is interesting. I'm showing you more foreground.
Yep.
They're doing a lot of stuff right. I think this person has a good understanding of composition, especially for outdoor stuff. In featuring what the most important thing in the photo is.
And they're putting something in the foreground, which is good, because just a photo of the Milky Way and the Starry Night is.
Hey, so look at the difference here. I like seeing a little more of the house. Maybe that's a little bit too much, but I just brought up the shadows. That's probably too much on the shadows.
How about some clarity?
But I'd like to see a little more of the house.
Stars love clarity.
Stars do. Yeah. But still, nice job. I mean, we're kind of nitpicking.
All right.
Hey, so Brad is slowly sliding in a thing that says Rap, 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 rap. It's bigger letters, getting bigger and bigger. Rap, 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 rap.
All right. We got to do giveaways?
Yeah, it's contest time.
All right.
Now, so here, we're giving away all these things. Just to recap for those of you who joined. So when you go to the contest site, which is KelbyOne.com/contest, you have to tell us what you want to win. So select our show, the grid, put your name and email and all that crap in. You got that. Then where it says comments, you need to tell us what you want to win. You could say Cowboys Stadium print from MPix Pro on metal. Probably only for Cowboys fans. Next, Blue Angels print. I really like this one. I hate to give this one away, actually. I would really like to keep this one. I love that.
Well, you get to keep it. MPix will send them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I get to keep this?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we just gave them away.
No, MPix will send them
one.
Oh,
sweet. Okay. Or Dan Winter's book. Just write big book. Or 4 of my digital photography books. You get to choose one. Choose part 1, part 2, part 3, or part 4. We'll send you the one you choose if you win. Also, a ticket to any one of the seminars that we talked about at the starting of the show. Me in Nashville, Ben in Sacramento, Joe McNally in San Jose, or Corey in New Orleans. So you just say Corey's tour, Matt's tour, just name the city or whatever you are. No, not Matt's tour. When's your next one?
I got the summer off.
Punk. All right. Anyway, so that's the deal.
How do we find out where do we follow you?
Follow me. You can go to my blog, ScottKelby.com, or you can find me on Twitter as @ScottKelby. You can also find me on Facebook. But on Facebook, it's facebook.com/SKELBY. Skelby. It's Skelby. That's me. All right. And so, Matt, where do we find you?
I'm over at mattkay.com, and it's got Facebook, Twitter. All the links are right on there, so whatever you want to.
So easy. He makes it so easy. Thanks very much to all our sponsors. Thanks to MPix Pro. I like you more now that I know I get to keep my Blue Angels. I really like that shot.
I do too.
It's my Facebook page header. If you go to my Facebook page, it's right at the top, and it's like, I really like that shot. So now I got it in metal. Anyway, thanks to the crew here for everybody helping us out. Brado and company. Pete, thanks for not being there when I needed you on that song. And we will see you guys next week, right here live.
You won't see us next week because you're going to be gone.
I'm going to be gone.
You're going to be gone.
I won't be here next week. Matt will be here. So. Hey, wait, Moose. Isn't Moose here next week? Am I wrong? Am I not supposed to mention that?
We'll talk about it off air.
We have a little bit of a scheduling conflict that we're working on.
Now, can I say something? Because the network won't cut us off. So on my calendar today, it said Lou Freeman was here today. It said Lou.
Hence the scheduling conflict next week.
Oh, it's Lou and Moose at the same time? Hey, we got 3 seats. It could be you, Lou, and Moose. You know what you call when Lou and Moose are together? Loose. Come on. Join us next week for Loose.
All right. We'll see you next week. There will be people here.
I won't be.
Not him. All right, it's time to go.
Don't cut the feed. Don't cut the feed.
I'm going to have a drink of water.
I'm going to have a drink. Do not cut the feed.
I dropped my phone. There we go. Pete's gone.
I guess once people start actually leaving the set, it's probably time to go.
I'm gone too.
I'm gone. Bye. See you next week. Scott